All right, guys. So, and nobody wants to show up their faces and turn their camera on. Great. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. But today's topic is very straightforward, right? How to get yourself back on track. And when I mean back on track, I don't mean only back into track macros or back on track on your nutrition and training, but how to get your mindset back on track, back on like where is that switch that you turn and okay, now it's work mode. I'm on this, I'm on a journey, I'm going to do whatever it takes and let's do this, right? How do you get yourself back to that initial mindset, right? Because usually and this is very normal to start your journey. So your first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, it's very exciting, right? You're super excited, you're super pumped, you're disciplined, you're crushing it. It's all like you can see progress very easily because it's just the beginning, right? But then after week 6, week 8, week 9, things start to slow down, which is normal. Again, especially if you're on a fat loss journey, at some point your body will adapt and it will not respond at the same rate that it did in the beginning. Mind you, people are different. Our bodies are different. So people respond differently to the program. There are some people that might respond really well since day one. And there are some people that we need to do a little bit of foundational work first until their body starts to respond. But regardless, when it comes to week, like there's work required, right? So you need to show up to check-ins, you need to show up to your calls, you need to log your meals, you need to meal prep and work out and do your steps and water. All of those things in the beginning, when you're full of motivation and excitement, that can be easier to get done, right? Because you're still relying on that initial motivation. But then after a while, that starts to wind down and you don't feel that same excitement anymore. You don't feel like checking in because you don't feel like you've made progress. You don't feel like logging your meals because you don't see the point, because you're not seeing results and your body isn't responding that quickly. And people are asking and events are coming up and you don't know how to handle, and like all kinds of things that starts happening all at the same time that derail you from your trajectory, right? And from what you should be doing. So you start losing focus, right? At that point, when your body stops responding, that's when you start losing focus, because you think that nothing is working, that all the work that you have been putting in is pointless. So why should you even bother? And then you self-sabotage yourself. Right? Then you self-sabotage yourself by not tracking licks and bites. Instead of weighing your food, you just start eyeballing it. Yeah, that chicken is 100 grams when in reality it's not. Oh yeah, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, and then it's more so than 2 tablespoons in reality, but you're not weighing it because you don't see the point. You already know, right? You start using that I already know mentality. Oh, I already know this. I already know that. I already know that. So, and you start self-sabotaging yourself. And then obviously you stop seeing results because you self-sabotage yourself, not because you were at a point that nothing was working, but because at some point it is expected that you will lose that initial motivation. So you have to rely on discipline to get things done. The same way that you wake up every day, you brush your teeth, you go to work, regardless of how you feel, you should be showing up to yourself the same way, right? Work out no matter what. Log your meals, weigh your meals, no matter what. I'm not seeing results. That's not the point. The point is to focus on the process, not to see results immediately. When you invest in stocks, you put your money there, you know that the market is going to go up and down. But you don't just, unless you're a trader or a day trader, you don't just put your money in there, invest in stocks, and then expect to get rich 2 days from now, a week from now, or whenever the market goes down, you just pull all your money out. That's not how it works. It's a long-term thing. It's a long-term thinking. And the same thing with your fitness journey. It's a long-term thing. Even if you are on a 3-month program, on a 6-month program, this is just a start. Like, think about it. Think about it. We're all over 30 here, right? So over 30, over 40, regardless of your age, like, put that into perspective. What is 3 months? What is 6 months compared to a lifetime, right? So put effort into learning the process, into focusing on the process, not the end result. Yes, have the end results, and remember that end result, that end goal that you have as a motivation, intrinsic motivation. Yes, I want to get there, but in order for me to get there, I need to do this, 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 and this. So these are my goals for now. This is what I'm going to be focusing on, because this is taking me there, right? So focus here on the process, master the process. Guys, I've been tracking my meals since I found out about flexible dieting, since 2018 that I track macros. On and off, I've had periods of my life that I did not track, but whenever I am on a journey, fat loss journey, or like right now, I'm doing a reverse diet, I weigh everything. I don't wing it. I don't eyeball stuff. I don't know if I'm just OCD or if I'm what it is, but I don't. Like, it's not even on my realm of options. It's not even an option. You weigh your food, you measure your food precisely, and then you log it into my fitness pal. You plan your day ahead. You look in your fridge and you see the foods that you have, that you don't have, that you need to buy. That's where everything starts. Like, I cannot conceive going a day without hitting my protein. I cannot conceive going a day by not eating vegetables. Has it happened before? Yes. And I remember how I felt, not mentally, but physically, because it affects our body, right? So like, there are certain things like that you have to raise your standards at some point and require more. And this is not by, don't take this as you should be hard on yourself, because this is not it, but you should require a level of excellence from yourself. You should require a higher level of output if you want that result so badly, right? Because if you want that result so badly, you're not eyeballing your portions. You are not planning your meals and winging it and logging on MyFitnessPal just after the fact. You're not just estimating majority of your meals. You're not playing Tetris just to fit alcohol into your macros. There are certain things that it's not even an option for people who are crushing it. They have a higher level of standards, and we all meet our standards. We all meet what we think we should do. We think deep down that we should be doing, right? So to get started on the practical side of things, I'm going to recommend, first off, that you listen to a podcast. I've shared this on the podcast list that's inside the Facebook group. I shared in the Facebook group. It's a Google Documents that's going to be updated as we go. But I linked a bunch of podcast episodes that I like to listen to, especially if I need the extra kick in the butt to get moving, right? Andy Frisella has this Real AF podcast. He's the owner of First Form Supplements, and he's very controversial. So I wouldn't take the things that he says about politics. I wouldn't take that as a parameter to judge what he says or not. I would ignore that. And I would just focus on the things that he's saying. Also, he swears a lot. So if you have a problem with that, then probably that's not for you. But I would still highly recommend listening to what he has to say, because it definitely makes sense. It wakes us up. So the episode that I'm referring to now is episode 16 of the Rio AF. Let me just see if I can share it right away. Let me just take a moment here, put it in the chat. Yeah, there it is. Episode 16, because that's the episode where he explains about the power list. And if you've never done the power list, has anyone ever heard about the power list?
No idea at all.
Yeah.
Just heard of.
No?
Just heard of.
Just heard of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Simple concept. And again, he goes into depth on why and how to win the day basically through the power list. And it's very simple. What you're going to do, you're going to grab a piece of paper, like a Post-it like this. And you're just going to write down the date and 5 things that you need to get done on that day. 5 most important things that you need to get done on that day that you still struggle doing. So let's say your workouts are already on autopilot for you. You're not going to put your workouts in there because you're going to get it done regardless, right? Brush your teeth or drink water. Like if those things are already habit for you, it doesn't count. You have to put in 5 important things that you must get done because they're not an automatic habit for you yet. They're not part of your daily routine yet. So if it is, I don't know, hit your protein goal, or if you have, I don't know, hit your protein goal, your steps, your water, or 500 grams of vegetables a day, or vegetables in all 3 meals, or I don't know, call somebody or log your meals in MyFitnessPal, something that you are struggling with, you write down on this power list, 1, 2, 3, 5. Not necessarily has to be in order of importance or priority, but you need to just think about what are the 5 things that if I get done by the end of the day today, I win the day. That's it. You're going to do that in the morning or the night before. What are the 5 things? And you can include other things aside from fitness, right? If you're struggling with other habits to make time for family, if you're struggling with, I don't know, something at work or something for yourself, time for prayer, meditation, something that you want to become a habit, but it is not right now, just write it down. What are the 5 things that if I do them, just them today, I win the day. I will feel accomplished, right? Then what are you going to do at the end of the day, at night, when you're winding down, going to bed, you're going to grab your power list here and see what are the things that are checked off from that list. What are if you had completed the list, that's it. Have you done it or not? Then if you did everything, you're going to put a big, where is my, I can find it here, but it's okay. If you've done everything, you're going to put a big W. Okay. If you didn't do Or if you did like 3 out of the 5 things, you're going to put a big L. Right? And you can use a sharper. I just can't find a sharper right now, but you can use a sharper because it like you can see it better. But basically, and then you put it on your wall, right? Basically, you want to see at the end of the week how many days you win, how many days you lost, how many L's versus how many W's. You want to see more W's than L's. In the beginning, you might see more L's than W's. But then as you keep doing this, as you keep repeating it, as you keep focusing on those main things that you need to incorporate every single day to win the day, then you're going to start seeing more wins than losses. And then the idea is to have a whole thing, a whole wall full of wins, right? Or majority of the days you win. And it's a good thing too, to look back on your week, because sometimes I know some of you might struggle to tell me what were the wins that you had on that week, right? It's so easy to focus on the bad things that we forget about what good has happened, right? Or what were the days that you actually did what we were supposed to do. So when you look back on like 7 papers like this, and you see that 5 out of 7 are W's, it was an amazing week, right? You won 5 days out of 7. Or you won 3 days out of 7. So that means that you need to work on something to win more days the next week. Now, that is the concept of the powerless and to win the day, right? And how you start winning the day by winning your morning, right? That is the first thing. And why I'm saying this is especially for people who are struggling with being consistent and who are struggling with discipline and who are struggling to accumulate wins. Because what happens is if we make promises to ourselves, right? You say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you just prove to yourself that you can't trust yourself. You cannot trust your word. Right? You just give yourself evidence that you can't be trusted, that you don't follow through with your word, right? The more you keep repeating the cycle of make promises to yourself, then you don't keep them, make promises and you don't keep them, you just keep repeating the cycle of losing for yourself. And that accumulates and it translates into a really, really low self-esteem. You lose the ability to trust in yourself and you lose the ability to trust that you can do anything, basically, right? Oh, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work because you haven't been being able to prove to yourself that you can trust yourself. And to be able to prove to yourself that you can do this, that you can trust yourself again, that you follow through with your promises, you got to do the thing that you said that you're going to do. And the easiest way to do this is to start right in the beginning, right first thing in the morning. If you say that you're not going to hit the snooze button and you keep hitting the snooze button, you're just like first thing in the morning, you start losing. Oh, damn, I said that I was going to do that and I didn't. And then you said that you're going to eat healthy that day, but then someone brings a donut and you can't resist it. And they're like, oh, damn. So you start your day accumulating losses. You start your day proving to yourself that you can trust yourself. And that's not leading to where you want to be. So I'm a big fan of incorporating a morning routine that it's aligned to the person that you want to be. What would that version of myself be doing? How would she wake up? How would she deal with this stuff? And then it comes to switching your environment, just making your environment more aligned to the goals that you want, to the person that you want to be, and to the habits that you're trying to create, right? If you say that you're not gonna, that you don't want to hit the snooze button in the morning, if you say that you don't want to wake up and just scroll on social media right away, first thing before you even brush your teeth, leave your cell phone in another room, right? Arrange your environment in a way that is more possible. It enhances the possibility for you to win, right? So create that environment that's going to make winning a little bit easier for you, right? First thing in the morning, right? Create a morning routine that connects you with yourself, not with the world. Because what usually tends to happen when you're losing focus, when you're not feeling motivated, when you're not feeling like yourself, when things aren't working the way they should, you start connecting more to the external world than to the internal world. So in the morning, you wake up, the first thing you reach out to is your cell phone. So you check your messages, you check your Instagram, you check your Facebook, you check this, you check that, you check the half an hour in bed, just checking out what's going on in the world in reactive mode. So every thought and every feeling after looking at everyone else's life, you're just reacting to it. You start your day by reacting, not being proactive by your life. And you might start your day just losing because you said that you wanted to stop that habit. Because you said that you wanted to wake up earlier to go for a walk. You said that you wanted to wake up earlier to go crush your workouts in the morning, or to make time for a good, healthy breakfast, but then you didn't. So set up your environment in that way. Set up your environment in a way that it makes it easier for you to win the day first thing in the morning. So wake up, get out of bed, do your thing, go to the bathroom, drink your water, like have some sort of rituals that are aligned. Like, and then after you connect with yourself, after you do some breathing, after you go for your walk, after you drink your cup of coffee or water, whatever you like to do, there's no rules. You don't have to follow a specific routine that somebody else follows. But I think that finding a way to connect with yourself before connecting with the world is the best way to go about this. Find a way to dictate how you are going to feel that first hour in the morning, that second hour in the morning. How, like, set your intentions for the day. Write down how you want to feel and what you're going to do on that day. Top 3 things. If the power list feels overwhelming with 5 things, write down 3 things that you, for sure, if done, you're going to feel accomplished at the end of the day. But have some sort of intention. Put intention on your day. Don't just go through the day living by reaction, right? Just based on feelings that you don't know where it's even coming from. Like, have you ever stopped to realize that you never pay attention to your breathing? Never, ever. You take it for granted. Like, your breathing is the best way to connect with your subconscious mind, to give you peace, to bring you to the present moment, to relieve anxiety. And you might be asking yourself, oh, what does it have to do with me following my macros? Well, the fact that you're not able to track your macros is because you don't trust yourself. You haven't even kept the small promises that you made to yourself in the beginning. How you're going to trust yourself with macros, how you're going to trust yourself with meal prepping, meal planning. You got to win, like, small little wins every single day. Keep the promises that you make to yourself every single day. Small ones, tiny ones. like I mentioned in the example with like putting your cell phone in another room. Don't like start your day in reaction mode. Start your day in proactive mode. How do you choose to feel when you wake up in the morning? How do you choose to see yourself, connect with nature, like connect with the higher power? If you believe in a higher power, do that first. Then you connect with the world. Then the craziness can start. Then you already filled your cup to give to others, right? And then you kind of blind yourself against all those things, that external inputs that come from social media, that comes from problems at work, in life, etc. Right? So start with that intention. It starts in the morning. If your morning is messy right now, if you don't have a routine that sets you up for success during the day, you might start to reconsider that. And that's why I say that being open and willing to see things differently is the most important skill that you need to have in order to succeed in anything. Because if you're just hearing this and you're like, oh, I know this, but, oh, I know this, but, oh, I know this, but you don't understand. So I can't do anything. Right? So start winning your day by winning your morning. Okay, go outside, see the sunlight, like do all the things that you need to do. If you can't do that, just like find some set of rituals. And especially if it includes moving your body in some way, you don't have to go hit any HIIT session. You don't have to run. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just to walk around the neighborhood for 10 minutes. That's so beneficial. Like without any sound, without any cell phone, without anything. We're just too connected with the outside world and disconnected to the inside world. And that makes us anxious. That makes us depressed. That makes us unfocused. We lose the ability to do small things. We spend too much time watching Netflix instead of prioritizing sleep, right? Nothing wrong with Netflix, but you should be able to control how many episodes you watch and say no to the next one because you know that you have to sleep a certain time. It's going to be there tomorrow. You're not going to die of anxiety if you don't watch it. Right? So just be willing to see things through a different lens and to implement those little things, those small things, small wins, small promises to yourself, right? If I say I'm going to eat vegetables on 3 meals today, I'm going to do that. I'm going to find a way to do that, right? If I say that I'm going to drink 4 liters of water today, I'm going to find a way to do that. I'm going to start with my big glass in the morning. And then before each meal, I'm going to make sure that I drink more. And then, and hold yourself accountable to each little promise that you make to yourself. That is so important. So important. And I guess more outside of, once you figured out how to bring your mindset back into it, right? Once you have that sort of routine, and I'm sorry, but if you want to really succeed and get back on track really and achieve your goals, you need to have routine. You already have it. Like we all have routines, right? You don't realize it, but you do pretty much the same things every single day. Okay. The question is, are those things that you do every single day aligned with the goals that you're trying to achieve? If you say you want to be successful, you want to make a ton of money, but I don't see you reading books, I don't see you working, I don't see you connecting with other people, that doesn't say anything, because what matters most are the actions that you're doing, right? The actions that you're taking. So are the actions that you're taking every single day aligned with the goals that you want to achieve or that you say that you want to achieve? That is the main question, right? Because you already have routines. Oh, I hate routine. I can't eat the same things every day. You're probably eating already the same things every day. You probably are. The difference is that you go by taste and feeling, and you just look for what feels good in the moment instead of thinking about your goals, right? And that ends up derailing you. So have a routine, implement a routine that is aligned to your goals. And the more you repeat that, the more consistent you are. Again, following through with those little promises that you make to yourself each and every single day, one day at a time. The more you repeat that, the closer you're going to get to your goals, and the more normal it feels, the more natural it feels, the easier it becomes. Okay, so flexibility, or the ability to just wing it, as I like to say, or intuitively eat, or whatever you want to call it, comes with a price. And the price is you have to be able to be disciplined for and have some sort of structure for a period of time. That will give you the freedom that you're looking for to then make the choices that you want and choose to eat whatever you want and maintain your physique, basically. But the more you repeat those little things, the more natural it will become to you. And then it's just part of who you are, right? At some point, I was a beginner too. At some point, I didn't have the habits that I have today, right? So in the beginning, it felt weird, especially because, social events and other people's comments and stuff like that. But I decided that that's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be someone who feels good about herself every single day. I don't want to feel like shit. I decided that. That's not who I am. So I started implementing new routines. I started implementing new habits one at a time. And it came to a point that it became just so natural, so normal. So my normal is to have vegetables at least 3 meals of the day. My normal is to have a higher protein intake every day. My normal is to move my body. My normal is to wake up and connect with myself first. So those things are just going to become part of who you are, right? So even when all of you guys graduate and you don't need to track your macros anymore, because again, tracking macros is not forever, but the more intention you put into tracking macros, the more you want to learn each step of the way and how you do things, the easier it will be for you when you don't need to track your macros, when you just have to guesstimate, because your estimate is going to be closer to what it really is because you've done it for so long. So when you guys graduate and don't need to track macros anymore, and you're just living your life and maintaining your body, the body that you worked so hard for, you're going to crush it. If you do this right, you're going to crush it. If you understand that the process is what matters most, and then we close with that, we go back to focusing on the process, right? And now if you're really, really lost, or if you're really having trouble, and that's another thing too, identify exactly what your problem is. Don't be general about it. Go very detailed. What it is, what is preventing you from doing the thing that you say you want to do, right? Oh, I forgot to log my meals. Pre-log your meals. Oh, I forgot to track my dinner last night. Okay, go back. You have the ability on MyFitnessPal to go back and just track last night's meal. Right? So there's always a way. There's always a way. And the best advice is script your day, set intentions for the day. And that includes pre-planning your meals, logging the things that you're going to eat. Like if you wake up every day and you have no clue what you're going to eat on that day, that's a problem. That's a problem. Right? If you want to achieve your goals, of course. So you have to pre-plan ahead of time. You have to have your meals logged in. You have to weigh your food properly on the scale, on the kitchen scale, not eyeballing. Nobody's too good to do that. And then just simple mind shifts instead of losing, instead of, oh my God, I don't know where I start. Start by the simple things. Start by sleep. Are you sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night? If not, that's where you start. Don't think about anything else. Are you eating vegetables 3 meals a day? No, that's where you start. Are you hitting your protein goal every single day? No, that's where you start. Right? You don't need a new fancy plan. You don't need a new fancy workout. You just need to disconnect from the external world for 1 second. Breathe deeply, connect with yourself and be honest. What is the one thing that you need to work on? What is the one thing that's preventing you from hitting your goals? And then if you can't identify that, or even if you identify that, you don't know how to solve that, just book a call, book a guidance talk call. Put your questions in the Facebook group. In the Facebook group. The more the group grows, the more the Facebook group is going to turn into the library, the resource place for you guys to share ideas, struggles, and even wins, of course, right? But start there. Simple things, little promises that you make to yourself, and be open and willing to see things differently, right? Not too much on the technical side today, not too much on the nutrition and training and all of those things, more on the mindset side today, because I feel like that's usually what holds people back most of the time, is that idea that you have to do things perfectly, or that idea that, oh, I didn't know that this was possible. Like, open up for possibilities, right? Open up for options, open yourself up and set up your environment to win. Stack wins throughout the day, stack little wins. So yeah, I guess that's it for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just drop in the comment section below. I'm going to pause and stop this recording. Hold on.